Hey, what's up? Dusk the Viking here, and we are going to talk about the different weapons like the M1 Garand and the tags like mainline and anti-infantry. I'm going to try and keep this brief and easy to understand. So basically, when you look at the weapons a squad has, or you're trying to figure out what a squad can do, you look at their weapon, and you can actually just Google the actual real life weapon to give yourself a ballpark idea of what this video game counterpart can do. Because the way they do weapons in COH3 is that the weapon itself has a set stat line for how accurate it is, how fast it fires, and how much damage it does. And it will do that regardless of what soldier you give it to. It could be an engineer, it could be an elite Gostatori, whatever, right? Like the weapon performs as the weapon performs. So when you see like this says close range M38 submachine gun, this doesn't mean that the weapon can't fire very far. Because if we take, let's get these guys out of the way here. For example, if we make this an enemy squad here and move up this rifle squad, you see the submachine guns are able to fire back just fine. And in fact, this short-range submachine gun squad will probably win versus this rifle squad in this particular encounter. In fact, we already see it going that way. But it's important to understand why. I think it's pretty easy to just say like, well, yeah, this is like a super expensive squad. Of course they beat this rank and file squad. That's not why they're one. Like this squad could cost 1,000 manpower, but that doesn't mean the gun is going to magically do more damage. So what's going on here is one, they are in heavy cover, and two, the riflemen have the M1 Garand, which is actually a medium range rifle, not a long range rifle. So what we have here, how the weapons work, is the farther away you are, the less accurate your gun is. Even a really long-range weapon like the G43 rifle, the farther away you are, the less accurate it gets. So if this was a Jaeger squad with the G43 rifle, they would still have an accuracy penalty from being this far away, and it would get more accurate the closer you got. The difference is that a rifle, which is a very accurate weapon, will still be fairly accurate after penalties, but something like a submachine gun, which is already a very low accuracy weapon, once you start putting accuracy penalties in it, becomes very, very, very bad at hitting targets this far out. Plus, there is a little bit of an addition to that. Short-range weapons do less damage at long range because they're typically a lower caliber weapon. But of course, the other piece of the puzzle here is heavy cover, which does really minimize this unit's ability to do damage. So you might be asking yourself, why are the Gustatori so expensive then? Part of it is the elite tag. They are going to be more accurate with their weapons, but you also get a large number, 6 elite soldiers in the unit, a very large health pool, and several special abilities as well. Which now you're asking the question, what does elite mean? Basically, this means you're dealing with a very skilled soldier. In other words, they're just going to be more accurate with the weapon and probably have more health. So that kind of lets you know what you're dealing with. A mainline unit is going to be something that has very average skill, and then something like a support is going to be a little less skilled, in other words, a little less accurate with whatever weapon you give them. And then you have some other tags like Recon. I don't know all the in outs of Recon, but I'm going to guess that they're very similar to Mainline, except that they have some kind of special ability like Extended Vision or something like that. As far as the other tag, Anti-Infantry or Anti-Armor, that really is just a rule of thumb kind of tag. It just basically lets you know what kind of things you can hurt, and that's about it. The real takeaway from this video is not just understanding what your units do, but how to use them in any given situation. Let me go through a couple examples. In this particular scenario, there really is no way to properly engage them, even with a frag grenade. As we've seen, they're going to win the long-range fight, and as you get closer, it's only going to favor their submachine guns more and more and more. So instead, what you're going to want to do is flank around, use the grenade to buy you some time and get in that building behind them, and then bring up a flanking force to pincer them. All right, so here's going to be a more articulate example of understanding what your soldiers do and how to use them. So let's say we have this little band of soldiers up here. Grenadier squad with the assault package, a Jaeger squad with no frills, and then a Pioneer squad. So what do we have here? We know we're going to want to assault. That's what we're set up for. We know that they're dug in. There's a machine gun and 2 rifle squads. This is a pretty tough situation to push into, and we really don't have, it doesn't appear to have the troops, right? But so what do we have? We have 3 MP40s with the assault package, and this Pioneer squad also comes with 3 MP40s. So between the two here, we have 6 MP40s. That's actually pretty good. And then we have a Jaeger squad here who can provide some long-range support, but they also have a smoke grenade. If our goal here is to uproot these players, then the machine gun would be the key. So let's see how this plays out and see if it's possible to uproot this really entrenched force here. Okay, so there's the smoke. The machine gun does appear to be blind. Move up here into cover. Machine gun now taken out. And we're going to focus fire this group here. We'll retreat those. And we're also going to focus fire this group here. That unit is most likely then going to retreat. So we'll delete them and pretend they retreated. We'll move this squad here. Do a little bit more damage. We'll retreat them. And now we have a long-range elite Jaeger squad that are at mostly full health versus a very wounded rifle squad here. So this is how you would take a much smaller force and use them to assault a position of a larger, superior group, really. You should fight that way with every faction. You just need to understand how they work. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget about the like button, and thanks for watching.